everybody, welcome to another Blu-ray hunting video. God, this video this week has come around fast. It feels like this week has just completely flown by, and we are here on Sunday the 21st of September, a lovely day in September. The weather's pretty nice, to be honest, nice and overcast, but like nice and mild as well. Sun is spotting through. It's a pretty nice day, and a big week Blu-ray hunting wise. New releases this week are absolutely crazy, which we're going to get through in a little bit, of course, but it is a massive week. Not one that I needed to go in store on a Monday, because a lot of my stuff hopefully is going to be delivered on Monday, so it will be in this video, but it'll just be bits at the end, I suppose. And also some of the stuff I'm going to do a dedicated video on Wednesday for. So there is a lot of things happening in that sense, but there is so much, of course, to delve into and of course go through in terms of those pickups this week. It's one of those, a lot of the editions coming out this week are very special edition-y, and obviously if I went to HMV on a Monday, you're not going to see them in store on the shelf, because we just don't have that in the UK. It's very rare that we walk in and there'll be steelbooks in a HMV, for instance, on a release day. Normally they're just online only, and that's it. So yeah. But as I say, Blu-ray hunting. Today I've had a really good week this week. I had Wednesday off. I filmed the second Blu-ray hunting video actually for you guys when I go off. My baby coming, obviously. Some of you know, non-date sensitive. Went to 3 new CEX stores I've never been to in the Cotswolds. So a very different video, but that's going to be really good. As I say, I'm getting really good at filming like the videos for when I'm going to be off, because that's what I'm doing now, and I'm trying to like get them all in a line, so then I can just spend a couple of days editing, and then, you know, schedule, and that's it, away I go. Hopefully 4 or 5 weeks worth of content is just there, as you guys know. But I'm getting really bad at filming the week's videos then, and actually like what's actually happening this week. So like last week I managed to do 3 videos in between, but like the front end of the week, like middle of the week, it's just been a bit mad, like with work and stuff, and the fact that I'm leaving is just so busy. And then by the time I finish work, the last thing I want to do is sit at the computer and carry on editing. So yeah, apologies for that. I will get back to normal with that. It's just finding a new norm, I suppose, and it's been a bit difficult. So yeah, but we will get there. Anyways, as I say, what is the new releases then coming out this week? Well, we have quite a fair few to get into. So one of the big releases that we have coming out is, of course, 28 Years Later, one of my favorite films this year. This is coming out on a 4K. Artwork's a bit questionable on this, and all of the artwork, to be honest, but of course we get a 4K and a Blu-ray. As I say, I wish the artwork was, they stuck with the red, you know, the whole red theme, red and all the others basically. But as I say, coming out on a Blu-ray and a 4K, looks great in my opinion for those. 28 Years Later, of course. Also get a 4K steelbook, which is the route I'm going down, believe it or not. Not someone that gets steelbooks normally, but I have also pre-ordered the 28 Days Later 4K steelbook, which is hopefully going to come out soon, and then hopefully I can get a 28 Weeks Later and I can get a complete collection. And of course the new film, the third one, or the next one, the Bone Temple one, the one after 28 years, you know what I mean? That one's coming out in January, so yeah, by March, April, might have that on 4K as well. But yep, 28 Years Later is coming out this week. We also get a big TV release coming out this week. This is The Last of Us Season 2 on a Blu-ray, of course, and as well as a 4K, but the 4K has a different variant in terms of you get one Pedro Pascal cover, and then we also get a Bella Ramsey cover. I think one of them, I think they're both HMV exclusives, or one of them is HMV exclusive. Maybe the Bella Ramsey one is, I don't know, but I'm not going to buy 2 of them because that's like literally 100 quid basically for the 2, but you can choose which character you want. Or of course you can get the 4K steelbook, which again, I think that's the 50 quid one actually. That is also a HMV exclusive, of course. Another big release this week is the 4K release, of course, of ELIO. This is the latest Pixar movie. Yeah, it is the latest one. And of course this is coming out on a 4K. Big blockbuster. Didn't really do well box office wise, but was very good and still hit the heights of a great Pixar movie. That's of course coming out on a 4K as well as a Blu-ray. There is a 4K steelbook, I believe, coming out in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that, obviously, in the next couple of weeks. We also get some special editions, which I do have pre-ordered. So we get 2 steelbook versions of The Shining as well as Poltergeist. These are both Vault editions, of course, the Vault. So these 2 are coming out on steelbook only, so you can get those. Or of course you can get the big box sets, which now I believe do come with steelbooks rather than how they were before. viewers of the channel, people found me basically on this way. I did a video a couple of months back. I've started to buy the vaults. I'm too short, but I've also pre-ordered these ones, of course, so these are getting delivered hopefully on Monday, and these will be the ones that I'll do a dedicated video on and unbox them in the videos. One that I have done a video on, however, though, is the release of Corpse Bride, the Tim Burton classic from 2005. It is coming out on 4K in a 4K steelbook variant, as you can see there, which you can just get the steelbook on its own, or you can get what I have and what I've unboxed, a 4K collector's edition, as you can see there on the screen. Fantastic. If you want to go and see the detail of that, I actually uploaded that on Saturdays. If you're interested, go back and watch that. If you're not interested in collector's edition or steelbook, but you can just get the standard Blu-ray 4K though, so it is many options there if you are a fan of that film. And again, that is a big release for this week. The next couple of titles, we have already had these in terms of a box set and a steelbook tin, but now they're releasing them individually. So if you're a fan of certain movies, then yes. We've got Dr. No on 4K. These are all the Sean Connery movies and stuff from James Bond. We've got From Russia with Love there. We've got Goldfinger. We've got Thunderball. We also get You Only Live Twice. And finally, we get Diamonds Are Forever. Of course, all the Sean Connery movies. Artwork is very, very bad on these. Literally just the name of the movie in different colors. I mean, yeah, but still, I'm not a fan. But yeah, they're all coming out individually now. So if you're a fan of one of the movies and you didn't want to get the entire box set, you can now just pick up one or whatnot, and that's pretty cool if that's what you're into. TV wise, then there's a couple of TV things that we've got to go through before we get to some of the label-y stuff, I guess. We've got Suspicion coming out. This is Suspicion season 1 from 2022. This is an Apple TV Plus show. I'm not sure if this has been released on Dazzler Media, but it is a TV release, I suppose. And we also get Chucky, the complete series from 2021 up to 2024. That is coming out on a Blu-ray only, no 4K release on that one. Right, 88 Films then are releasing Hackers on 4K. That is coming out on 4K, as well as Hackers on Blu-ray. Again, this has been released by 88 Films. Another big release we have this week, looks to be just 4K only, is Final Destination Bloodlines. I think these are 2 steelbook variants, so you have choice of which ones you want, because the Blu-ray has been out a couple of days. Similar to Ballerina, as I say with ELIO, they're tending to release the Blu-rays as soon as possible, and then steelbook coming a couple of weeks after, which I think is a bad thing, to be honest, but yeah, you can get Final Destination steelbooks for the Bloodlines movie, of course, from this year. On BFI then, you can get Nosferatu the Vampire 4K. This is from 1979. You can also get this on a Blu-ray as well as the 4K, of course. Also coming out on 4K is a steelbook release for Night of the Living Dead from 1990. 2 4K steelbooks again released previously a couple of days ago, similar to ELIO really. We had Ballerina come out, of course, the John Wick prequel follow-up movie in that universe, but there's 2 steelbooks coming out of that, so you can get this one there as well as then this one. So 2 steelbooks. I think they're both on HMV or Zavi, but they're widely available, to be honest. Alongside that, we get Sex with the Stars, which looks a bit like an erotic film. Up the Junction is also coming out from 1968. The Warped Forest as well, that might look a bit like anime, but it's by Third Window Films, so it might not be, but the artwork looks quite anime from here. Derelict is also coming out from 2024. This is from 101 Films. And then we get some anime to finish off with Magical Girl Sight from 2018. And yes, that is everything for this week, to be honest. Quite a busy week, as I say, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different moving parts. But as I say, a lot of the things I'm interested in. 28 years later, steelbook has already been shipped. It's going to be delivered on Monday. It's Sunday at the point of this. It was shipped yet. It was shipped on Friday. I don't get HMV deliveries early. I just don't. So that's coming on Monday. I've also ordered the 2 vaults as well, so they're going to be coming. I want to pick up Last of Us. I haven't ordered that, but I'll probably just get that in person when I'm in Cardiff on Wednesday. I can't imagine that's going to sell out and whatnot. Basically, I want to buy that as quick as possible because I want the slip box so that it carries on what I've got. And then ELIO 4K was one I was going to get, but I'm decided to hold off on that because I think it's going to go in 3 for 50 very quick, like Inside Out 2 did. So I'm going to hold off on that one for a couple of weeks. And then the final one that I got and picked up, and as you guys have seen in the previous video, is Corpse Bride. So yeah, quite a busy week for me in terms of new releases. So yeah, very expensive, but yeah, it's one of those. I'm really pleased, and as I say, these vaults are like new for me now, and I'm fully on board. So yes, there we go. that is the start of the Blu-ray hunting video. We're in CWMBRAN today. I am not doing the new releases in terms of in person, but I am going to go to HMV here, of course, look at the, the deals, try and find some really good bargains for you guys and highlight those in this video. Alongside that, I'm also going to go, of course, to CEX in CWMBRAN. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks now, and yeah, see what we can find as well. So one of those, we're not really looking for anything in particular, but I do have a lot of stuff to go through. There'll definitely be the 28 years later steelbook in this video. I'm not sure about my vaults because my vaults were shipped with Amazon, and they said initially they said delivery was Wednesday, and then they said delivery was Tuesday. But it's not the end of the world because I'm going to do them in a dedicated unboxing video anyway on Wednesday. But as I say, definitely should have 28 years later steelbook in this video at the end, which I'll film, of course, tomorrow evening once I've finished my day at work. So new release wise, that is the content you're going to have for this week. But yeah, as I say, loads to get into. And CWMBRAN, we used to come here a lot, so let's go to, I think we'll go to actually to CEX first and see what we can find there, and then we'll go bargain hunting in HMV and looking for all the deals and sales, and yeah, showcase them to you guys. Right, one thing I want to check out though is the new iPhone, so let's have a look in O2, see if they've got it. He literally heard me then, I walked out there because I was just like, oh shit, they've put the phones down but you can't actually pick the phone up. It's like all, barricaded. Anyway, let's try in 3. Well, that was so annoying. I wanted to look at the new iPhones, but I couldn't pick them up because they're all locked down, as you guys saw. I went into Vodafone, EE, 3 and O2, all the same. The guy in O2 literally saw me. I was like, oh, this is annoying. So yeah, I've seen the phone. It's really thin. I've ordered mine. I'm waiting for... I've got one pre-order basically for a week. And then I'm waiting for my Pro Max, but I decided which one to get, to be honest. Part of me wants to get the Pro Max because it's better and it's got better everything. Then the Air is new, so... But anyways, yeah. So, first year in how many years? 12? Since the iPhone 4, basically, that I haven't had the iPhone on the first day. Which, yeah, because my delivery is the 29th of October. So, yeah, a couple of days yet. But, no, anyhow, let's continue. Let's go to CEX now and then go and see what we can find there. Okay, iPhone 17 behind us. Let's get into CEX and take a look what we can find in CWMBRAN. Up the stairs then, of course, into the 4K Blu-ray section. Well, they got the small section there, but also the Blu-ray corner, although not at that stage yet where everything's 4K. Slowly, though, every store is starting to have a lot of 4Ks in now, which is pretty nice. We do have then up here, we have this 88 films, I believe that one is. And then we got The Crow there at £12. This is the remake. I did watch this in the cinema. I actually enjoyed it. Probably not something I'd pick up for 12 quid. It's more like a £5 4K pickup, something pretty cheap. Got the 2 avatars there for 30 quid for the pair if you're interested in that. And then down here they have Wreck-It Ralph for 15. I actually picked this up for £8 on Vinted with a slipcover. So Vinted is a good place to check. You need to do that more. They've still got the 2 box sets of Agitator, £25 a pair. Sorry, for each rather. They've also got Broadchurch up here. This is season 1, 2, as well as special, well, number 2, 3, and then special edition. So I'm assuming that that's the first season, but that is there, that entire box set there for seasons 1 to 3. Bit odd, I'm not sure why I didn't say season 1, but that's 15 quid on the shelf. We do have another box set here. This is District 9 Elysium, as well as Chappie, fantastic film Chappie, 6 quid. They're Neil Blomkamp movies, I think that's his name, I know you pronounce it, but yeah, they are his movies. Deadwood, the Ultimate Collection there for 15 quid, next to some Deadpool, as well as then Dune 1, as you can see there, for £6. Amazing price on Blu-ray. It really does go to show that you can build a fantastic Blu-ray collection with a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, as you can see, for just £6 a movie, which is really good. 18 quid, however, though, for Death Proof. This is a Quentin Tarantino film, and I'm assuming this is one of his, out of print, I guess, in terms of a Blu-ray release. £18 for that one. Father Ted, if that's your thing, though, there is many seasons there. I think they range from season 8 all the way up to season 12. Really good condition, all from Dazzler Media. Somebody clearly had enough, decided they didn't want them. Game of Thrones season 4, though, is missing the magnet on the front there, as you can see, with the indent is. That was meant to be like a shield, but 8 quid for the steelbook. You've got the double pack there for Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, £15. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, can't remember what it was now, but it was pretty recent. Haunting in Venice. We never had a 4K release of this in the UK. We did it for Murder as well as Death on the Nile. but unfortunately not for this one. £5 though for the Blu-ray. Pretty good price, and it's come down pretty quick. We've got Suits. This is another TV show box set. This is just season 4. £2 for all 16 episodes. Honestly, if you want to get something on a budget to entertain you, it is so cheap nowadays to buy entertainment. The Rescuers, and you've also got the Rescuers Down Under there. Double pack Disney, I think it's number 23 and number 29 of their collection. There it is for £4 for the two of them in a double pack. We got a premium here, £15 for 7 days in May. This is a looks a bit like German. Is it German? I'm not too sure. 98 in the franchise there. And then we have Serenity, which is a Blu-ray release for £4, but also it says HD DVD. Not too sure, because this could be the HD DVD, but is it the Blu-ray? Who knows? It's Serenity. I thought it was quite interesting and stuck out like a sore thumb on the shelf. HMV though, let's go over here then. Of course, it is Sunday, so it is the day before release date at the point of filming this. And as you can see, all the slots are there ready for all the new media to go in. Next to Ballerina, which I have seen, we do have Karate Kid Legends, of course, the new Karate Kid film. I did try watching Karate Kid, wasn't something for me, so I didn't decide to see this in the cinema and give the franchise a chance. I'm just not a fan. I've tried it a couple of times. There's the Blu-rays there for $14.99 as well, if you're interested. And then down here we've got Sinners. Again, no slipcover on those. There's the gaps. They're ready for, of course, the Monday new releases to go in place. Over here then, we're looking at some deals today in HMV, as I said. Hard Truths is down to $9.99 on Blu-ray. That is from $14.99, as you can see, with a slipcover, and of course it is down on a good deal if you're interested. We do have Nosferatu, which is down from $14.99 to $11.99, so a little bit of a price decrease there, and it also comes with a slipcover as well, as you can see on the shelf. We also do get then Minecraft movie. This is down to $9.99 from $14.99. No slipcover on this version. September 5 does have a slipcover. That is down to $11.99 as well from $14.99. I really enjoyed that film in the cinema. We also have A Real Pain. That is down to $9.99. Of course, most of these are like the Oscar ones that were earlier in the year, but they're starting to come down in price now, which is nice to see. That one there for $9.99. The Substance, of course, $11.99 down from $14.99. Again, one of those slipcovers. It's a movie release. Really nice, good looking artwork as well. And then we do have a panning shot there of the 3 for 50s, of course, so any new additions, just highlight them in the comments below. Great value films. They do this really nice section in CWMBRAN. They don't see it anywhere else, but they do have an area where they put some sale things together. So you've got Sonic 3 there for $9.99, Mickey 17 again $9.99, Furiosa now $6.99, and Alien Romulus there $9.99. Down then we've got then some more down by here. So you've got Escape from New York. Craven as well is down to $9.99. Shame I haven't seen the Steelbook inside CEXs yet at a cheaper price, because the Steelbook is still full price, and I need that Steelbook because I need it for my Sonyverse collection. $6.99 for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. This is the part 1 one, even though it's not part 1 anymore, it's just the only part. And then we get Blink Twice, which I think is a HMV exclusive, and that is there for $5.99, I believe, on the shelf. So pretty good price on that one if you've been waiting for it. Second Sight though have a sale on, and they've got some Blu-rays 4Ks all around $9.99 each or $19.99 each, depending on Blu-ray or 4K. But they have a pretty good selection here in HMV CWMBRAN. I'm sure they have a big selection in Cardiff, to be honest. But yeah, that is a panning shot there of what is on offer. They also then finally have a Halloween section, which of course, yeah, there it is. It's all Halloween horror movies. Got The Monkey, Speaking of Evil above there, $9.99 each. Wolfman is down to $9.99. Cuckoo is down to $9.99. Five Nights at Freddy's there is $6.99, sorry, and that one is $7.99. Right, back in the car there now. I got one pickup from CEX. I'll show you that now in the car, to be honest, because like I say, I'm going to be showing you all the new stuff that has arrived. If things do arrive, hopefully they do, obviously. Disappointed about the iPhone. I really wanted to show you guys the iPhone, and I thought that CWMBRAN would have it, but like every carrier store just has it like locked and guarded down, and it's just, yeah, it just doesn't show it. So anyways, I didn't film anything when I was in Cardiff, to be honest. I just didn't bother, because it was busy, to be honest. Just didn't bother. So I will film another time, I guess. Like I say, my phone is meant to be delivered on the 29th of this month, I believe. So what's that? I got a couple of days to go. Yeah, all of next week, basically, for week Monday. So it's a bit of a shame. Hopefully I can get it on click and collect, and like I've been checking on the Cardiff store, they basically refresh like stock every morning at 6 a.m. So for the last day, I didn't wake up the first day, but yesterday, or this morning rather, I did wake up at 6, checked it, and yeah, there we go. So it is what it is. But anyhow, that is the phone situation. Hopefully gonna upgrade this phone then, and all of that. The new front-facing camera, which is the one I'm using now and I use for all of my videos, has been massively updated apparently, so it's going to be better for my videos. But the back camera I think has had some upgrades, but not as much, which I do use for Blu-ray hunting and all of that. So like I say, I get the iPhone every year, so it's just something I had to do for me. Right, in here then we get is a one pickup that I got from CEX. I didn't actually have this, and it's come out in 4K recently, which is why it's probably popped up in here. It's a classic film from 1996. I actually watched this the other day. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you'll see I would have posted my score. I gave it, what did I give it, 4 star, 4.5 star. As a kid, I absolutely love this film, and it's Matilda. I still do, to be honest. I'm trying to get in all of the films that I loved as a kid, so obviously I can then have them in my collection, but also I can show my child when she's I guess older and whatnot. So over the next couple of years, going to be building that out. But yeah, Matilda, I do have the musical version on Blu-ray, because I remember picking that up on a Blu-ray hunt, but not the original version directed by Danny DeVito, of course. So yeah, £4 for Matilda, not a bad shout there. As I say, pretty good film, £4. The sticker comes off very easily, and I just thought, yeah, it's on 4K now, but it's one of those, you know, some things you don't need to get 4K for everything. Like 4K, seeing Matilda flip pancakes in 4K and tip glass over and stuff like that with her powers, and Bruce eating the cake in 4K is not a focus of mine. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to see that level of clarity, especially when I watched the version that was on Netflix, which was pretty good anyways. So yeah, I just picked up the Blu-ray just to have it on the shelf and have it in the collection now, of course, and it can be like in this little thing that I'm doing in terms of all my things I grew up with. I'm going to do a video on that. When I got them in, I'll do a video of all of the films that I loved growing up and maybe have a bit of a nostalgia fest. I want to get them physically, like whether or not they're DVD, Blu-ray, or, you know, of course, you know, 4Ks if they're on it. But I'm going to put together a bit of a video of all the ones I got in my collection, and yeah. So that is the pickup then from today. As I say, let's get home now. Hopefully it will be Monday evening. The delivery would have come from HMV. Everything's fine. Maybe even the Amazon delivery comes in, and then we will unbox then, of course, the this 28 years later steelbook, and I'll show you guys that on the video. So let's get home. Okay then, guys, I am back home and it is chilly. I have put a hoodie on for the first time this year, in terms of, well, not this year, but you know what I mean. It is, what is the time? Not the time, the date rather. It is September the 22nd, obviously, at lunchtime now, and my package arrived from HMV, so we'll unbox this. But as I say, first time in September now that it is chilly. The bolts haven't arrived yet, but they will be delivered today. It goes up to like 8 PM tonight, so we'll see what time Amazon deliver them. But that's fine, because Wednesday's video will be those unboxings. So if we peel this back, oh, that failed. Total fail. Let's try the other one. There we go, all in one, well, in two. And then inside we get the steelbook. So this is one of my films of the year this year, to be honest. I really enjoyed the film. This is, of course, 28 years later from HMV, this steelbook. 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. Double Dolby. I'm going to watch this pretty soon, because I thought it was one of my films of the year. And of course, the new one's going to be coming out in January. I think it's around my birthday time. So probably going to be the time that I probably go back to the cinema, you know, a lot. Right, so just using my knife there just to pierce that in there. And we can peel off the actual wrapper. Of course, hopefully there's no dents on here or nothing. No spine slash, that's good. And then dent wise, yeah, it looks okay. And then we'll take the J card off. But that is the front there. So at the top, we've got 4K and the Blu-ray included. There is the cast members there, of course. Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Rafe Fiennes. There's the artwork. I actually really like this artwork. Yeah, pretty nice design on it. I do have this little scratch here on mine, as you can see. It's not the end of the world, because it's, yeah, it's like silver behind, but yeah, maybe it was done when it was getting made, because there's no damage on the actual wrapper. So yeah, there's the spine there, 28 years later. And then if we just take off, well, actually at the bottom, sorry, so we got the 28 years later with Danny Boyle there, as well as Alex Garland, of course, who wrote it. Well, let's just take the stickiness off here. Of course, this is the big release this week. for those that are fans of this franchise. And yeah. Okay, so I definitely have some damage on my steelbook, to be honest. Yeah, I do have damage, which is a shame. But I've kind of got this one line here, but then I've also got another line on this side. So it kind of, it's hard to show. You can kind of see some, there on the black, look there. Yeah, see how it's like kind of a line going across? Yeah, that's a shame. Anyways, on the back, we do have this here. This is the artwork. That's the long walk, of course, going to the island where the people were staying on. So opening this out, oh, my disc has fell out also. This is all going pear-shaped. We'll put that back in a second. But opening it out, then that is the entire steelbook. See, I actually really like this design, to be honest. It's really nice design. Shame about these little scratches here. But it definitely gives me the vibes that it was done in the factory and nothing else. So you can kind of, there's a few hairline scratches here. You can see they're all like there. So yeah. Inside though, we get 2 discs. Of course, the Blu-ray included with this one, as well as that 4K. So the Blu-ray one we have is this one here, 28 years later, and that's in the red, of course. And then we also get the 4K, which is black and red. So 4K there, Blu-ray there, pretty nice. And then inside, then we do get some imagery there of this the skull and this Ray Fiend's arm there coming out. I think this was a popular character's skull, of course. If you haven't seen the film, I won't spoil it. Definitely feels like something's off with this steelbook. Definitely feels like it's lost a bit of rigidity. I'm gonna have a look to see if this is on Amazon, because top tip, if you buy something on Amazon, it's so much easier to return than it is anywhere else. So if I can buy this on Amazon, I think I will, and then I will compare the Amazon one to this one, and then return the one that is worse, I think. So that is the steelbook there. We've also got the J card, which, as I say, had the names of the actors there, 28 years later on top. And then on the back then we've got all of the stuff there, and the spiel, and then the tech specs down the bottom for those that are interested. Of course, Dolby Atmos as well as Dolby Vision. Looks like we get a 7.1.4, I believe. Yes, we do. And yeah, so on the bottom then you just get the 28 years later again, as well as the bit that's on the front there. So as I say, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed by the quality of it, but I don't think it's HMV's problem. I think it's more that's how it was made, I think. So that's even worse, because it might be a widespread issue. So if anyone else has this steelbook and they have the same things, let me know in the comments, because as I say, this gives me the feeling that it's more of a, you know, a manufacturer's problem in terms of these scratches, because like I say, I had no damage on these. It's not like somebody, you know, did a spine slash. I mean, they are perfectly straight lines, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be like a knife or something, or anyone at, you know, in HMV's warehouse. So yeah, hopefully this will go okay. I've never really done a return to HMV, so if I can't buy it on Amazon, then I'll probably just return it to HMV and take my shot with another one, to be honest, because I really like the design. Even in person, I think it's a lot better in person. The colour's really cool, the grey with the red. You know, I would like it to have been red, but you know, they could have done it red with the skull being on there in white, but it's still pretty nice design and pretty unique, I think. So that's, of course, the big release this week, 28 years later. And of course, in terms of what I picked up earlier from CEX, Matilda. Very, very different films. You know, £4 for that one, and then of course the steelbook that has been released today. So that is this week's pickups, and that is this week's Blu-ray hunting video. Very, very short. No other pickups, just these 2 this week. You know, some good finds, of course, out and about, and good to get back to CWMBRAN, to be honest, because I don't feel like I've been to CWMBRAN that much. So it just did feel a bit good to go back there. But yes, we are slowly approaching the time that I take off. I think I've got about 3 weeks left until the baby's due date is here. So still going to be doing Blu-ray hunting videos right up until the wire. But of course, when that time does come, there is still going to be Blu-ray hunting videos, but they're just going to be non-date sensitive ones. So we're not going to be talking about new releases and stuff. We're still going to be picking up things from CEX, but all of that. So yeah, if you are interested and you want to see those in the next couple of weeks, there's a massive QR code there on the screen. You can subscribe by taking out your phone if you watch them on your TV, scan the QR code, and then on your phone there and then you can press subscribe. It is that easy. Thank you so much for watching, though, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and of course, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.